5, 4, 3, 2.
Hello and welcome to Life of Grace. I'm Nancy King, and is your tongue saved? I mean, you may be saved. You may be a devout Christian and you go to church and you give your money to the church. You may even have a bumper sticker on the back of your car that says Jesus saves. But maybe people would not know you were a Christian because of the negative way in which you speak. I mean, I can relate to that because there have been phases that I've gone through in my life when I didn't have a kind word to say about anyone or anything. In fact, bad-mouthing was my first language. My motto was, if you can't beat them, bad-mouth them. I mean, even if I lost a job, I could always make ends meet because I could always put my foot in my mouth. You know, I used to bad-mouth people because I wanted to get a laugh. In fact, I used to tell people, you know, you shouldn't criticize someone until you've walked a mile in their shoes. And then, when you criticize them, you're a mile away and you have their shoes. So, you know, it's just bad-mouthing is something that is just so bad, and I just had to get over. And I wanted to warn you about that because that's just not how Jesus wants us to be. In fact, he said that, why do you try to get the speck of sawdust out of your brother's eye, but leave the 2x4 hanging in your own eye? He said, before you try to remove the speck from your brother's eye, first get the plank out of your own eye. You know, we should always examine ourselves first before we go to judging. You know, you never want to judge someone hastily. There are times and situations when we need to appraise and examine a person or a situation for wisdom's sake or to avoid a problem. I mean, we all know that there are times when we need to judge. But I want to warn you about judging hastily, because the Bible says that in the same manner in which you judge others, you will be judged. Now, how would you like for people to judge you? How do you want them to do that? Should the need ever arise for somebody to sum you up and give an account of you, how would you like them to do it? I bet you would want them to, first of all, know all the facts, and then maybe pray about it, hold up the scriptures against it and see what they say, and then do it with love and mercy and out of respect. You know, one of the ideas that I've had is if I ever have to pass a judgment about anyone or anything, particularly anyone, I always say I'm going to do it the way that I would want someone to judge my children. I mean, how would you want somebody to judge your children should the need ever arise? Sometimes our kids might have limitations and shortcomings, and wouldn't you want somebody to first of all know all the facts and not just make hasty judgments about them? I mean, absolutely. And wouldn't you want them to do it with love and respect? Well, that's how we should do it, because in the same manner that we are judged, that we judge, we will be judged. You know, if you have a critical tongue and you can't seem to get it under control, you need to heed the advice of the Apostle James. And he said in the book of James in the Bible in chapter 3, he says, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boasts. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark. The tongue also is a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body. It corrupts the whole person, sets the whole course of his life on fire, and is itself set on fire by hell. All kinds of animals, birds, reptiles, and creatures of the sea are being tamed and have been tamed by man, but no man can tame the tongue. So if you're having a trouble overcoming your negative speech pattern, you need to let God come in and do His work of grace in you and control your tongue. You know, a lot of times we can't do stuff in our own strength. We really need God's strength. No man can tame the tongue. And once you start speaking better about people and not being so hasty to pass judgments and being more positive than negative, you will find that people will like you better and your life will be sweeter. And not only that, shouldn't Christians and churches be more like hospitals than like courtrooms? I'm Nancy King, and I'm saying, may you have a life of grace.